Hey, what's up guys, it's Mike with Alpha Reptiles, back today with day 12 of Jam Packed July. We're almost halfway there. This is going to be a little bit of an update of the shipment that I got from Europe and Madagascar. Both came to me at the same time, and as you guys may or may not have seen the video, if you haven't, click in one of these corners, you guys can go check it out. But if you have, then you guys can enjoy this video and see how they're all doing. And by they, I mean the new additions to the room. So why don't we get started? If you guys have watched the video, I basically put these guys, which are the Ebenavia inunguis, or the Madagascar clawless geckos, into a much larger cage, very similar size to this one here that Dixon is in. Now, the reason why I switched them to a smaller 8x8x12 Exoterra is because they are both very, very small. And being that they're wild caught, I want to keep a closer eye on them. And in their larger cage, they basically just disappeared and I never saw them. Now, of course, as I say that, none of them are out right now. I just saw one. He was sitting up under that leaf or under that branch there. But I don't want to disturb them too much. I might be able to get a little bit of a shot of them if I can see where he went. There he is. So that is one of them. These are the Madagascar clawless geckos, as you guys have seen in a couple other videos before. Okay, buddy. Here you go. They're really cool geckos. I'm super, super happy that I ended up getting them because they are just, they're very unique. They're not like other geckos that I've had. They're kind of flighty, as you saw there, and I don't hold them just because they are still pretty sensitive. They haven't been in captivity all that long, so I don't want to stress them any more than I have to. Even going in here and doing stuff like that, that's basically the first time that I've ever actually went in there and looked for them and took them out. So I don't want to stress them too much, but they're both doing well. They are both still alive. They are both eating and pooping and hunting and coming out and basking in the UV right towards the end of the night when I am about to shut off their lights. But these guys are both doing super well. If you don't know what they are, you should definitely look them up. They're very cool. Not a ton is known about them. Like, there's not a lot of care sheets or anything online. So I did end up talking to one of the guys that have kept them before, and I figured that this is a good setup to start with. Once they're fully established, and maybe even after they have like their first offspring, if they are a pair, then I'll move them to something a little bit larger so they can enjoy a little bit bigger of a habitat for the both of them. But that is the Ebenavia inunguis, or the Madagascar clawless gecko. And before we go over onto the klemmeri, which are still doing well, I did want to update you guys on the Ufaga offspring that I had. They are doing very well. I believe all three are still out and still alive, but honestly, I can only ever see 2 at a time. So that's something that's kind of annoying with these guys, but I mean, it is what it is. These guys are doing well. They're all eating. Whoa, careful there, little man. He almost got out. Freedom! These guys are so rad. Such cool colors. They're all so variable. They all kind of have their own different patterns and variation. And again, they are being kept in another 8x8x12. I was keeping them in a little container, but honestly, I just figured that looked a little ridiculous, and it felt ridiculous, so I moved them into here, and they're doing great. They love that bromeliad that I put in there, and I couldn't be happier with how these guys are doing. If you are in Canada and you are interested in Ufaga, they will be for sale in probably a couple months. I believe 3 or 4 months out of water is the kind of standard for these guys, so that is what I'll do. And once they have achieved that, I guess, age, then we will be able to ship them across Canada. Another one down there. Yay, all three are visible. So that's the more polka dotted one. He's a lot darker and has a ton of spots on him, which is kind of cool. So that's good to see them all three out, because that's the first time I've seen them all out in probably a week. I kept looking even when Hunter and stuff was here, and yeah, we never saw them all out at the same time, so that's good to see. That is good to see. By definition, these are imported, but they are captive bred. So for those of you that hate wild-caught stuff, don't worry. These are captive bred. These guys are pretty much inseparable. Like, you can only find them maybe 3 or 4 times a day actually apart. It's crazy. These guys are so cool. There's little to no fighting. There's pretty much just happiness and hopefully babies in the future. That's all I can really hope for, because these guys are doing so well. For those of you that are wondering, I've already had several friends contact me and say they want some babies. I probably won't be selling any of the babies right off the bat. I do want to mix some bloodlines and get the genetic diversity up there before I start selling babies just to anyone, but they will not be cheap, because these are one of maybe like 10 in Canada, if not a little bit less, or a little bit more. But there's the female. Hi, girly. See what I mean? They're just so chill. And it's kind of unfortunate, but their front finger there is all messed up. I don't know if that's like a problem that if I moved it, it would fix, or if it's just the way they are, you know? I don't know. The colors of these guys are just incredible. And even on video, they are kind of not the same as they are in person. For those of you that have seen these in person, you know exactly how colorful and beautiful they are. And for those of you that haven't, well, if you're in Canada, you can certainly get some when I start selling them. I hope you guys enjoyed the update. It was a lot of fun for me to kind of go around and show you guys the progress and what's going on in the room with the newest additions to the family. And with that being said, if you like this video, make sure you drop a like down below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, leave them in the comment section. I reply to pretty much everything. And while you're down there, if you have any video suggestions, please don't hesitate to leave them, because we're only halfway through July and I'm kind of running out of ideas. So, yeah, do that. If you like these videos and you want to support me, make sure you click that subscribe button and play Ding Dong Ditch with the doorbell next to it. That way you get notified every time I post a video or go live, which is every Sunday during the month of July. And we'll catch you guys in the next video tomorrow. Later.